Good morning, I'm John Moss for General Property Management right here in good old Eau Claire, Wisconsin. June 5th, 2026 is a day to celebrate. And it's a day to celebrate because the Wisconsin Supreme Court came out with a very good decision in case number 19, reversing an injustice that was done by the Court of Appeals in year 2020. So let me give you a little history on this. So in 2020, 2020, Koble Investments filed a small claims eviction case against Elicia Marquardt. Apparently she wasn't paying rent and they wanted to recover the property to rent it to somebody else who would pay the rent. It went through the court system up to the Court of Appeals, and in the Court of Appeals an injustice was done. Terrible decision was made from the Court of Appeals, and because it's the Court of Appeals, it's now case law and applies to all the lower courts throughout the entire state of Wisconsin, all lower courts below the Court of Appeals. So all small claims evictions are under this decision by the Court of Appeals, unless you go back up through the chain of command and get a different decision. Very expensive, very costly, not going to happen. So bad decision. Some different organizations file amicus curiae. They file briefs to the Supreme Court of the state of Wisconsin saying, you got to take a look at this, man. This is really terrible, really bad. And finally in 2026, 4 years later, we get a decision. And so what was decided at the Court of Appeals is that the lease was null and void because it didn't contain certain provisions that must be in every Wisconsin lease, or else it had in there one of the 10 deadly sins that violate the lease and make it null and void. So either way, void lease. I think in this case it was missing a provision about domestic abuse, so the lease is null and void. So anyways, that brings us up to this decision that overturns it, reverses it, and I'll read you just one paragraph. It's a 24-page document. You can get it online. It's easy to find. Just type it in and poof, AI finds it for you, pops up, and you can look at, print it out yourself if you want. So a couple things you need to know. Chapter 427 is Wisconsin Consumer Act. Chapter 704 is Wisconsin Statute for Landlord-Tenant, and the corresponding administrative code ATCP 134 is landlord-tenant. Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection, ATCP. So here's the one paragraph that sums it all up. We, the Supreme Court of the state of Wisconsin, reverse the Court of Appeals and hold that Wisconsin Statute 427 does not govern a residential lease under which rent is payable on a monthly basis because it is not an agreement to defer payment. Additionally, even if the parties' lease were void and unenforceable, Marquardt failed to show Koble's violation of Wisconsin Statute 704.44 and Administrative Code 134.08 caused her to suffer any pecuniary loss. Additionally, neither Marquardt nor her attorney are entitled to recover damages, costs, or attorney fees under Wisconsin statutes. And then, yeah, you don't need to know those because it just says if you win, you get your attorney fees. So this is huge because under the Court of Appeals, they said the lease is null and void. They said, Elicia Marquardt, you get all of the rent that you paid returned to you, and because this is landlord-tenant, you get it doubled. Double damages for landlords. Double damages to Elicia Marquardt. Rent times 2, return it to Elicia. And also, attorneys get attorney fees back. And the court costs, filing fees, service, etc. So, attorney fees. And attorneys make $350 an hour, so of course they want that. So this is so terrible because once this decision came out, for 4 years there, from 2022 until now, attorneys were going through the court system, looking at the records. They were finding small claims eviction cases, and they're contacting the tenants and saying, I will represent you for free just for my attorney fees. I just want to help you out. I'm just a great attorney. I want to help you out. And if you win, you prevail, you could get double your rent back that you paid. So if you paid in $6,000 or $7,000, you're going to get back 12. And you did live there for a period of time, so you got free place to live plus money in your pocket. And I might take your case. Just send me your lease. Could you send me a copy of your lease? Oh, sure I can, attorney. And they send off a copy of your lease. Attorney looks at it and says, oh my gosh, it's a void lease, slam dunk. Yes, I will take your case free. Goes to court, wins, tenant gets rent returned ×2, attorney gets all of his attorney fees, court costs covered. So you can see how this is really bad for industry. That's why June 5 is a day to celebrate. So party on all week long, June 5, 2026. I am John Moss for General Property Management. You can learn more by visiting our website, generalpropertymanagement.com, or give us a call. When everybody does their own little part, the world is a better place. Thank you very much for watching.